there's push-ups, then there's the best push-ups you'll ever do. Today's video, I'm going to share with you the setup and the secrets that I use to get the most out of my push-ups. Not only are you going to feel these in your chest like you've never felt them before, but you're also going to feel them as a total body exercise, which is exactly how push-ups should be felt. Here's a basic setup that you've probably heard before when it comes to push-ups. Hands are going to be in front of your chest, about shoulder width apart. Feet next to each other, maybe slightly apart. Back flat, core tight. You're going to lower yourself down to the ground, and then you're going to push up. What does that mean? Sure, it works. It's a simple setup with it. You can get benefit out of it. However, with a few simple adjustments, you can get even more out of your push-ups. With that, let's get into the real way to do push-ups. It starts with your hands. It starts with your hands. Your hands are one of the first points of contact with the ground when it comes to doing push-ups, the other being your feet. However, the exercise is initiated from that push with your hands. We have 34 muscles in each hand. Of those 34 muscles, each individual finger has a specific set of muscles that they control. To illustrate this point, we're going to do a quick little experiment. Take one of your hands, doesn't matter which one, and I want you to watch what happens when you apply enough pressure to each individual finger to get the muscles to contract. We're going to start off with our pinky, and then we're going to work our way into the thumb, paying close attention to the muscles in your forearm. Watch what happens as I press each finger into my palm. So notice how the different parts of my forearm are going to be moving with each different finger that I push. So pinky, ring, middle, pointer, and then my thumb. These are all, look at that. Look at that wave. Woo, it's like waving. So these are all different muscles being controlled by each individual finger throughout my palm every time one of these different fingers moves. When we're doing our push-ups, the more of these forearm and hand muscles that we can get involved, the better. That means more muscular engagement, so we're using more muscles, better muscular control, better able to use those muscles, and we get a better transfer of force from our body to the ground, which results into a stronger, better, more effective push-up. One thing that I see often with people doing push-ups, and by often, I mean I see it all the time, it's that when people do push-ups, they're only pushing from the outside part of their palm. So it looks kind of like this. You're here, pressure on the outside of the palm, and then you've got your thumb, pointer, and middle finger. You've got this big old opening gap cave that you could fly a 747 through. So that's how their hand is set up with the push-up. Now remember, each individual finger controls their own specific set of muscles. So when you're doing your push-ups like this, what's happening is you're putting a lot of pressure through these muscles that control this pinky and ring finger. So the muscles back here in your forearm are engaging. But what's actually happening here at the back of the hand is these muscles are pulling your hand up, which is twisting and contorting your bones and muscles. And when you're doing your push-ups and you're doing it like this, you're training those muscles to engage this way, which if you get wrist pain when you do push-ups, this most likely is what's causing it. So to change that, we're gonna get your push-ups infinitely better. First, we're gonna set up, want your fingers to just be slightly apart, so like a nice, relaxed position. And now we're gonna press your entire palm flat to the ground. So really getting pressure through this pads of your palms here. So you want a firm push all the way from the wrist to the middle of your palm, and then these fingertips as well. So getting that even pressure throughout the hand, that's gonna be step number 1. Now, let's move on to the rest of the push-up now that we've got hand positioning set up. So here, like that. Next, we're gonna get into a high plank position, which is gonna be push-up position with one probably key difference from what you're gonna be used to. So instead of having your toes pushing down into the ground, we're actually gonna plantar flex our feet so the tops of your feet are gonna be pushing into the ground when you do this. This is gonna help give you deeper activation in through your core muscles. So here's what this is gonna look like in full setup. So start by getting into that high plank. Hands are gonna be about shoulder width apart, maybe a little bit wider, directly underneath the shoulders. Remember, natural kind of resting length position with your hand. Fingers not all the way together, not all the way wide, but just somewhere here. Pushing that palm completely flat from the wrist to the pads of the palm and into the fingers. Feet are gonna be about hip width apart and plantar flexed, so the tops of your feet pushing down into the ground like this. Here, from here, you're gonna squeeze your glutes, so glutes engaged, abs engaged. Think of having a nice straight line from your ankles into your ears. This is gonna be our starting position from here. From this starting position, we're gonna lower ourselves down towards the ground by bending at your elbows, squeezing your shoulder blades back as you do this. Remember to actively engage your lower body and your abs as you're lowering down. So think nice straight line from your ankles to your ears. We're gonna lower ourselves down for 4 seconds, pausing right before you hit the ground with your chest, or to whatever depth that you're comfortable going to. You can always build up the range of motion over time. Before we get to the push itself, let's bring it back to our lovely hands. And I want to emphasize the importance of actually using your hands to, in fact, push yourself up to do a push up. So when we get to the push and we do the push, there's going to be 2 things that I want you to keep in mind with your hands. So the first one being, when you push, you're pushing your whole palm and your fingertips into the ground. So you're getting a little bit of like push like this. So that whole palm and fingertips push into the ground. This is going to help you engage all of those muscles in your hand and your forearm. So that way we're getting all of those muscles actively helping to push ourselves back up. And then the second thing that I want you to do is think of sliding your hands together as you push up, right? So don't just push straight into the ground. Push and try to slide your hands together. They're not gonna move, they're gonna stay in the same spot, but you wanna think of sliding them together like you're doing a dumbbell fly or a cable fly. That little motion right there is where you're gonna get just crazy amounts of chest activation. Cool, got it? Yes, good. All right, let's put it all together. So getting back into our push-up position, remember, palms flat to the ground, hands under the shoulders, maybe a little wider than shoulder width if you need. Feet hip width apart, feet plantar flexed, abs, glutes engaged. This nice high plank position, lowering down for 4 seconds, bending from the elbows, retracting their shoulder blades. 2-second pause here at the bottom, and then we're gonna go 3-second push on the way up. Remember the cue with the hand, so pushing the whole palm, fingertips together, trying to slide those hands closer together. We're gonna go 3 seconds up. So 4 seconds down, 2-second pause, push the palms and fingertips into the ground, trying to slide those hands together, squeezing through the chest, 3 seconds on the way up. There you have it, the secret setup to the best push-ups you'll ever do. And when you're doing compound lifts like push-ups or any of the other major lifts, really consider how your body functions as one integrated unit. So the more of the right muscles that you can get involved in the process, the better. Doing so means more control over your body. So that means you're able to get more muscles involved in the process. When you have more of those muscles involved in the process, it means you are working more effectively doing so because you have more muscles to spread that workload more evenly. You're going to get a better transfer of force from your body into the ground as you push, and all of those things together means you are going to get faster, stronger, faster. You're going to get stronger, faster. All right, so that's it for this video. Let me know how this push-up, the best push-up you'll ever do, greatest in the world push-up, let me know how it stacks up compared to those boring, regular old vanilla push-ups that you were doing before watching this video. Drop it down below in the comments. Like, subscribe, do all the things, and I will see y'all on the next one.